Hello, this is a Grotrian Steinweg upright piano, 120 centimeters tall, made in 1924, and we sold this piano in 2004. There's nobody at home playing the piano anymore, so the client has offered it back to us, and we're always grateful to buy pianos back in that we've sold before, because hopefully there'll be much less work to do on them. We've didn't do a few things extra that we didn't do back then, but not much different really. So let's just having a look at the case now. My colleague has already made good the case, and I think it looks beautiful. It's the whole lot's authentic and original, which is very encouraging. And by the way, Grotrians have extra music stands, as a lot of top quality uprights do, and you can see that's much higher. So if you do like that high, it's like a grand piano height, you've got book holders on this one. That one can have book holders on it if you prefer, but I prefer that height of music stand. It's obviously personal preference, but the music stand's a bit higher up, and that's more like a modern music stand. Now it's 85 keys. You can take all exams on 85 keys, but you might see there's 3 keys that most pianos have, making it up to 88. But very early pianos are extremely common to have 85 keys, and perfectly all right to study on and take exams. We will buff these keys. They're just slightly because they'll attract the dirt if they're not shined up a bit, and that's been taken off and stuck back on, but there's no ridge there, and the top one I think was the same, taken off and stuck back on. So that's fine. I think we can obviously try and improve that, but I think that's as good as we'd get it. They are actually a perfect set of ivory keys, though I think we may have repaired that one. You can see a slight discoloration. There's good legroom here for tall people, 62.5, which is about a centimetre more than, say, a Yamaha U1, and the pedals are lower, much lower as well. That's 5.8 centimetres from the floor, so there's scope to also put caster cups under if you want even more legroom. So a normal pedal height like this from a new piano, like this Foric 133, it's a brilliant piano, but 7.5 centimetres, that's about maximum height that you'd want for comfort, though in fact there's plenty of legroom on this piano. Now the mechanism of the piano is in perfect playing condition. We're just going to try and refine it to see if there's any very minor regulation we can do, but if you look at the dampers, for instance, they're lifting off at exactly the right point, just round about halfway to the string as you press the hammer. I'm pressing 2 at once here just to show you that they're lifting off together, and to the pedal they're also perfectly regulated. So we will try to improve it a little bit if we can. The tone on the original Grotrian, if it's got the original strings, is unsurpassed. We really want to get them in original condition. So often Grotrians are restrung and they've lost a lot of their tone. Let's have a listen to it. It carries so beautifully. And around this area, the tenor area, you see the break here, the break point, a sign of a good manufacturer when they can disguise the break point so the tone is the same both sides. And there as well, changed from 3 strings to two strings with copper winding. There's no better upright piano of this height. It really is better than a modern upright piano in terms of tone, no doubt about that. If you're a tuner who'd like to back me up on that, I'd be very grateful for that, because we really love restoring and selling these older German pianos. Tuning pins are tight, that's really important. So I've just done a general check on the whole piano, obviously. And the hammers, well, there's plenty of hammer left. If you look at that, you can see that it's probably about 95%. They have been refaced gently, more than 95% left. So I would give this piano at least 30 years life before anything needs to be done to it. So let's compare it with some other pianos. There's a new Foric 133 we looked at earlier. And a Bechstein Model 7 made in 1905. So if you look at the assessment sheet, it's very similar to when we sold it before. Just a bit of tuning and voicing and buffing the keys. That'll stop them attracting dirt. They tend to get a bit matte over the years. A few other things, just very tidying up. And I think the touch, really, we can, by lubricating the balance rail, which is something we didn't used to do in those days, we now try and refine the touch a bit more, trying to get the weighting even out. So if we look at this one, if we lift that key up, you can see it doesn't fall down. Needs lubrication on the balance rail, which we've mentioned in other videos, and that will even out the touch, so that'll bring it down from 60 grams. We may need to also just regulate it a bit more to get it down to plus or minus 3 or 4 grams. We managed to achieve on piano, same as new pianos, so the touch on this piano should be no different from that on a new piano. So that's the Grotrian Steinweg 120 upright piano. Such a resonant sounding piano, and the touch is exquisite as well. We're obviously trying to refine it even more. We sold it in 2004 and there's little bits we can do on it. And because it's all original, it's got the original tone, and that's so important to us really with Grotrians. It's always very useful when we get our own pianos back in as well. It's one of the nicest things that can happen in the piano trade. If you're interested in the piano, please do write to us, info@robertspianos.com. Thank you very much for listening.